This is an advanced topic, so I have discussed this mostly in Hindi. It's not for the beginners, but I'm talking about how what fourth and fifth dimension look like once you cross a certain level in Bhakti Marg. So the fourth dimension, which is time, which for a common human only flows forward. He neither can see what is going to happen with him, nor he can go back in the past and change his time or events. That's a limitation that human beings have as a creation by God. But when we look at the reality of time, we understand that time is in fact like a movie where you can scroll back and forth and you can go back and analyze what you did. You can fast forward, you can see the future, you know the whole story. So it's just about placing yourself to a point on that timeline, on like a movie, just scrolling or moving the cursor back and forth. So that is called Divya Drashti or divine vision, which allows you to see the future. That's the fourth dimension. The fifth dimension is changing or tweaking one timeline to create many different possible timelines that could possibly happen at each time. So somebody who can see the future cannot necessarily change it, or if he can change it, he cannot see what's going to happen on the change timeline. If he can see what's going to happen in the change timeline, he cannot see what would happen to each of those timelines that are created in the multiple universes. So even if you know what's going to happen in the future, you don't have the power to actually understand what tweak, if you do, would get you to the best possible multiple universe, because you don't know what happens after you change the timeline. There are science fiction movies and serials that talk about this issue. Like there is a movie where you go back in time, you change something, when you get up again you find that what you changed did not help you much because nature took its own way. It's also called butterfly effect, where the noise becomes so large that even changing a small event in the past could change the future in a great manner. So knowing totally about the fourth and the fifth dimension and contemplating about it would help you understand that in reality the final outcome of all your past acts is an equilibrium, like Nash talked about, Nash equilibrium in the game theory, that the nature knows what you deserve, so you'll get what you deserve. If you tweak some things here and there, it's going to cause ripple, so it's better to jump to the equilibrium. So you could not do anything. I mean, you can change the timelines. Some events would be good, some events would be bad, but the net outcome would be the same. So how do we go about this issue when we can realize that the time is you know the future, you know the past, you have the power to find out all the multiple universes that are going to be created, and the net outcome of all those universes is the same. If you say that I want to become a millionaire, alright, there are some side effects which you already know that's going to come, and then you think, oh god, that was a bad idea. So you let the time flow in any direction because you know that all of the outcomes are the same. But when you start realizing that there are two critical things that happens that you understand about time, you understand the importance of what is called mansik jap or mental chanting, and you understand the importance of feeling and understanding God in your heart chakra, in your heart, and understanding that whatever you do is dedicated to Him, and all these external things are not worth the time, but you start doing your duties. Has been explained in details in Gita by Lord Krishna. So once you realize that, somebody might think that you would go ahead and change some of those timelines to get a beautiful girl that you want to, or get money, or get a very nice job, or change an accident that happened to you that broke your bone. But actually you realize that accident happened because you have not just information about the past of this lifetime, but many lifetime, and you know that you cannot escape that bad thing. The only way to escape it is to feel it, and make it neutral, or the other best way is to do chanting and cancel out the effect. So in that respect, once you go beyond these two dimensions, you understand the importance of chanting, which you would not understand unless you feel these things in a way where you get the realization that time is an illusion. Options that you take as a common human being, that's an illusion. All the outcomes are already fixed. It's a simulation where everything is governed by some equation. The world is, you have some free will that will lead you to some probabilities, but the final outcome, it's equally distributed, which is an ISO value surface of the same energy level or the same energy configuration. So that's when you realize that even changing something in this materialistic world is not going to help you. So that's when the chanting becomes important. There are advanced level of chanting in which I talk about throat chakra, the third eye, or all those kind of stuff, and how these impacts to you. And those have been much advanced things. Unless somebody chants a great deal, it's useless to talk about the powers that you get, or what happens when you activate a specific aspect of your soul, because your soul is a part of the super soul. So in theory you have got the same kind of powers, but those are different things that I've talked in my lectures in Hindi. So in this video I just want to sensitize you that whatever outcomes and belief system that you believe you have control over is an illusion, and to get out of the illusion you have to move towards chanting, and there is no other way. That's why groups like Hare Krishna talks about 16 rounds of Hare Krishna chanting, without which you could not realize anything. You would be controlled by those old karmas. You cannot have a neutral vision to actually understand and absorb a lot of things that is being talked about. You won't have the chance to look to some guru who is talking about some or the other aspects. So the first step is chanting. Only then you become eligible, and you have a mind where you could actually listen, understand, digest, grasp, and comprehend what's happening with you.